Welcome to the podcast. Today we're diving into a really gripping story about a crash that ultimately made Boeing revamp its system.
I'm all ears. So we're talking about that incident where everything went awry, right?
Exactly. This crash, spread over a small area and shattered into three huge pieces, really caught everyone off guard. It tells the story of a plane
absolutely.
that was flying at a slow speed when it went down.
Yeah, I've heard survivors describe feeling a sudden turbulence, then a dramatic drop.
Right. Survivors mentioned hitting what felt like a bout of severe turbulence, and suddenly, out of nowhere, the plane just dropped.
Yep, wow, that's intense. So, what exactly did the cockpit voice recorder reveal?
The recorder picked up something that no one could have predicted. Something that raised more questions about whether the pilots ignored crucial system warnings.
Right. That always makes me wonder. Why would pilots bypass system warnings when lives are at stake?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, right? There's a debate here. Did they intentionally ignore them, or were the warnings misleading?
I get that. Sometimes technology fails us or gives conflicting messages. Do you think that played a part?
It's possible, especially if the system design itself was flawed. I mean, the design might have been ambiguous, spurring confusion on the flight deck.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. But isn't it also true that pilots are trained to trust these systems?
Absolutely, and that's why it's so shocking. This crash forced Boeing to re-examine and change their system. It highlights that even trained pilots can be misled
Right, that's a crucial
when system
point.
warnings aren't crystal clear.
I remember reading that the wreckage was broken into three major pieces. What does that tell us in terms of the crash's dynamics?
Good question. Breaking into three large pieces suggests a low-speed impact. So it's like, the plane may have been struggling to maintain the correct flight path before an inevitable drop.
Definitely. And does that imply that the aircraft systems were not providing reliable data to the pilots?
That's one interpretation. The evolving narrative points to misleading system cues. Essentially, the aircraft might have been in a state where its alerts weren't as reliable as they should have been.
Exactly. But let me challenge that a bit. Could it have been more a case of human error rather than a system problem?
That's a valid concern, but in this case, the investigation leaned heavily into system design flaws. It seems the technology itself played a key role, creating conditions where even a skilled crew found it hard to trust what the systems were telling them.
Right, I see where you're coming from. So, in a way, the crash served as a turning point, pushing Boeing to change its system.
Exactly. It's like a wake-up call. The incident revealed shortcomings that, frankly, could not be ignored any longer.
Spot on. And the redesign, it was meant to help pilots better interpret the warnings, correct?
Yes, the new system aimed to provide clearer, more reliable alerts so that pilots can make informed decisions without second-guessing.
Yeah, that sounds like a critical upgrade. It makes you wonder, though, how often do these system misfires happen and go unnoticed?
Oh man, that's the dark side of complex systems, isn't it? Sometimes, near misses don't get the same attention as catastrophic events. But eventually, one major incident puts everything
That's
into
a solid
perspective.
point. What's interesting is how investigations like these, through thorough evidence analysis, make clear that multiple layers of decisions eventually add up to such disasters.
Absolutely, it's a layered story. Technical systems, human psychology, training practices. You have, one wrong signal, and it cascades into an incident.
Yep, can't argue with that. And the survivors' accounts, huh? They provide such dramatic insights into what happened in those final moments.
Yes, their descriptions really bring home the severity, the turbulent sensation, the sudden drop. It paints a vivid picture of chaos.
Truly chilling. It's like, in movies when everything seems calm and then suddenly, bam, disaster.
Exactly, like a deceptive calm preceding a storm. That sudden, catastrophic change gave investigators so much to analyze and learn from.
Right, it's almost cinematic in its horror. And speaking of cinematic, the documentary style of this investigation really makes the story accessible to a wider audience, don't you think?
Yeah, the narrative, the visuals, even the way interviews were presented. They all put you right inside that cockpit moment.
Absolutely. I'm curious, though. Do you feel that the investigation might have overlooked any human factors in favor of blaming the system design?
That's a fair question. There's always a balance. While the system flaws were critical, it's important to remember that the pilots are human. But in this case, the evidence strongly pointed to a faulty design element tipping the scales.
That seems reasonable. Right, so it's not just about assigning blame to humans or machines, it's about understanding the interplay between both.
Exactly. By addressing the system's shortcomings, Boeing not only enhanced the technology, but indirectly reinforced the pilot's ability to make safer decisions.
Yeah, that's a key takeaway. Looking into the aftermath, do you think these kinds of incidents have led to a more cautious approach in aviation?
Oh, definitely. These high-profile investigations act like mandatory reminders that our systems need constant improvements. They serve as catalysts for changes that ultimately make flying safer.
Absolutely. It really is a somber yet important lesson in the evolution of aviation safety, isn't it?
Yup, indeed. Each incident, while tragic, pushes the boundaries of learning, ensuring that such oversights are less likely to occur in the future.
Right, a tough pill to swallow, but a necessary one. Well, this has been an eye-opener, huh? It's incredible how one event can lead to widespread system overhaul and improved safety protocols.
Absolutely. It reminds us that, in aviation, as in life, continuous feedback, vigilance, and a willingness to adapt are key to progress.
Could not agree more. Thanks for this insightful discussion. It's always fascinating to see the intersection of technology, human factors, and the relentless pursuit of safety.
For sure, it's been great breaking it all down. Until next time, keep looking up and stay safe.
Yep, see you soon.